The BBC Wildlife Series presents Protecting the Screeching Stumptail, hosted by researcher Sonia Apalado.
I decided to take a day trip out to the dry hills of Griffith Park. I just sat down to take a sip from my canteen when I saw this captivating creature poke its head out of a hole in the ground. And at first I was, what was that? Well, I was able to lure this stumptail into my knapsack. I discovered that I had been the first to find this animal, in fact that it was a rare species. That's when I decided to leave my life at UPS and dedicate it to the protection of this rare and amazing bird. And I've never looked back.
The research and history of the stumptail.
Well, it isn't easy to research an animal when you're the first to discover it, especially when you have no scientific background. So my challenge was to piece together a history for the bird based on my own observations and assumptions, really.
The research team.
Sonia is a very passionate woman. We used to work together at UPS, and she knew that I was working towards a degree in biology, so it was perfect. I love this research.
Once you decide you love your work, that you'll never work another day in your life. And at first when they said that, I was like, what?
But it's cool being outside, wilderness. Use it, and
Yeah.
birds.
What I like is there's a lot of spontaneity around Sonia. You never know, what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
On July 17th, the research team made a discovery.
Well, we discovered the body of a stumptail beneath a running electric line near town. First I was excited because I thought, another live stumptail, how exciting. Then I realized that it wasn't moving. After some study of the location, I determined that this particular bird probably approached the downed line as a resting place, believing it to be a downed branch, and it was electrocuted. That's when I realized that it was technology that was killing the stumptail. Either that or the bird ingested some poison prior to approaching the line and died of some stomach thing. It's really hard to say. We tried an autopsy, but we didn't have a healthy example of a stumptail to go on, so we just buried it.
Understanding the stumptail.
Well, the screeching stumptail is a ground-dwelling bird, meaning that it makes its nest in a hole much like a groundhog or a mole. So retrieval of its eggs can be somewhat difficult and require some physical strategy. So our first job was to replace Sandy or put her back into her hole so that we would leave her there to hopefully lay an egg. Jane Goodall, Diane Fossey, these were the women that inspired me to pursue Sandy. So I decided to study her. I approached the hole mimicking her and see if she would accept me as one of her own, which eventually I believe she did, and we bonded.
I was able to develop a low suction vacuum, and after 2 months of regular suctioning, we were able to capture not only 1, but 6 stumptail eggs.
Then one day, tragedy struck.
Well, ironically, I was in the process of building an incubator to house these 6 precious eggs when I smelled something. When I arrived in the kitchen, I saw Jim, the painting contractor that we shared our space with. Oh my God! Oh my God, no! You bastard! You bastard! Fortunately, it had only been a 3-egg omelet.
Rearing the stumptail.
Hey, congratulations, Sandy! It's a stumptail! Well, my plan to parent the birds wasn't easy. The birds had to be fed, played with, given affection.
They're like green.
God, look at, they're so active and young. I had to anticipate their every need.
That summer, the funding well ran dry.
This is Sonia. Oh, hi, Stan. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. We can't do it without the funding, for God's sake, Stan. Well, I've been told when it comes to the stumptail, I can be quite ruthless. There's no telling what I might do. For 2 weeks we picketed, passionately shouting out our cause, just trying to be heard by anyone who would lend a hand and help us out, fight for our cause.
It's not just a bird!
Stop it! Stop it!
Protect the stumptail! Save the stumptail funding now! Are any of you listening? You and I can make a difference together!
And so the search for funding continues.
We are not gods. There's people who love the stumptail and want to see it flourish. If I'm a fool for caring, well, I guess I'm guilty of that. I don't know if we'll ever really save the stumptail, but for now, I've made a friend.